It was July 2014 when UK Star Wars collectors Richard and Ben learned that auction house Vector's was going to auction off an old suitcase that had been used as a time capsule buried in the ground in the early 80s and was full of unspecified Star Wars stuff. Not really sure what was inside, the two knew one thing: they wanted it. They placed a bid, then some others placed a bid, but at the end they won. Did they just win a suitcase full of trash? Or was it something more? Once home, they opened up the time capsule suitcase that had been buried in the ground since the early 80s. Inside was a Star Wars scrapbook someone had made using old newspaper and magazine clippings. Most of the clippings for the scrapbook seemed to focus on a Star Wars Pal Toys giveaway by Star Wars Weekly. And then they noticed, inside, was 12 Star Wars figures. The two wondered who won the contest and who put the action figures inside the suitcase time capsule. In 1978, over in the UK, Star Wars Weekly decided to drum up a little excitement for the launch of the Star Wars action figures, about to hit the stores. They were going to give away 25 sets of the first 12 Star Wars figures. All you had to do to win was be the first to answer 25 trivia questions. The questions were: who was the writer-director of Star Wars? Which planet did R2-D2 and C-3PO eject to at the beginning? Who plays Princess Leia in the film? What is the name of the ship Han Solo flies? Who is Han's co-pilot? What did Luke and Ben both believe in? Easy, right? Fans were asked to write in the answers and mail them in, and then check back in a few weeks in Star Wars Weekly to see the names of the winner. I'm sure every kid that sent in the answers were on the edge of their seats waiting for the issue to announce the winners. One of those kids waiting to see if he won was 9-year-old David Harrison. He had answered the questions, ones that he felt was easy, and sent them in. But would he be one of the first 25? David opened the issue of Star Wars Weekly and hurried to the result page to check. And there it was, his name, in print. He had won a set of 12 Star Wars figures. The ad only showed 9 figures. David and the other winners wondered what the other figures could have been. We know now that the ones not shown was a Jawa, Death Squad Commander, and Tusken Raider, as those figures were added late in the production run. David and the other kids waited and watched the mailbox, waiting for the first Star Wars figures. Not only would they get them free, they would also be the first kids in the UK to have a set of Star Wars figures, and that meant bragging rights to any kid back in 1978. Finally, David opened his mailbox to find the box inside. He ripped open the box to find 8 of the 12 figures and a letter letting him know that the other 4 figures had not been sent to Pal Toys yet, and as soon as Pal Toys had them, they would send them out to David. David did feel a little let down, but it did mean he would get 4 more figures in a few weeks. So that was like getting 2 gifts in one. It wouldn't take much longer, just a few months, and the second box showed up with the 4 figures inside and another note. This note let him know to keep reading Star Wars Weekly and that he now had a complete set. Like any kid, David was excited and showed them to all his friends and played with them over and over again. But soon Dave's big win faded from memory. The two collectors were excited to see that there was more than the scrapbook inside the time capsule suitcase. They were also the 12 Star Wars figures that was won by David, and they started to look at each one. There was Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Princess Leia, Darth Vader, the 2 droids C-3PO and R2-D2, Chewbacca, Death Squad Commander, Tusken Raider, a Stormtrooper, and the smallest of them all, a Jawa, along with his nice brown vinyl cape. As any collector knows, one of the rarest release action figures in the Star Wars line is a Jawa wearing the vinyl cape. The figures went from a loving kid who won them to a suitcase buried in the ground to a collector's home in just 36 years. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. Please thumb up if you like my videos, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.